Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम।
I
वालेकुम
welcome all of you in this introductory session on PMP.
सलाम।
Thank, thank, thank you very much.
सलाम।
First of all, my introduction. My name is Abu Bakr Ahsan. I have done bachelor's in computer science, master's in information technology, PMP certified. PMP full form is project management professional. RMP certified, which is risk management professional, and ACP certified, agile certified practitioner. All these three certifications, they are from same governing body, which is PMI, and Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt, these belong to quality related certifications. Currently, I'm working with Deloitte Saudi Arabia as a consultant, more than 24 years of working and project management experience, more than 200 PMP workshops I have already conducted with more than 13,000 engineers and managers just like you. These 200 workshops, I'm talking about full workshops, not free seminars. And contact email and my WhatsApp number is given here. The full course is starting from 27th of September, inshallah, and this is going to be the schedule. It will be Fridays and Saturdays, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. KSA time. And I already showed you the fee structure in case you want to register for the full course individually. If you pay in Pakistani bank, it will be 720 riyals only after discount. And if you pay in Saudi bank, it will be 960 riyals because here we will be paying the VAT as well. And if you register as a group, right? So group means you make a group of 3, 4, 5 persons and all of you pay together. But everyone, regardless he registers alone or as a group, they will study in the group of the same schedule, right? So if that is the case, if you have a group, then additional 25% discount is there. So it will become only 480 riyals per person. Some of my online and offline sessions I conducted recently. So this was done in December 2023. This was done in May and June, just a few months ago. So on average, I conduct one session after every 3 to 4 months. So now I'm doing in September. So my next course might be in January, inshallah. So if you miss this one for live, for recorded, you can anytime register in between. But for live, it will be in January next year, inshallah. So this I conducted offline sessions also. This is Nokia Saudi Arabia. This is my campus in Riyadh, Exit 9. It was an open session. This is National Petroleum Yambo. This is KFCA, King Fahd Causeway Authority, Hoover and Bahrain. This is KFUPM, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Mineral Sciences. This is STC, Mursalat, Riyadh, Head Office. This was my open session in Hoover. So now, starting about the introduction of PMP prerequisites, that who can become PMP? What are the prerequisites? So I will explain this slide, and if anyone has any confusion, question, please feel free to ask me once I explain the points. So remember, there are two prerequisites. Number one is your experience requirement. Number two is your training requirement. After these two, you can apply for the exam of PMP. So if you have graduation of 4 years degree or above, you need minimum 3 years of working experience related to the projects. Your title could be anything other than project manager. It's not necessary that you have to be a project manager only. You could be anything, right? So you can apply if you have minimum 3 or more. In case you do not have 5 years degree, 4 years degree or overall 16 years education, in that case you can apply only if you have 5 or more years of experience. On this particular point of experience, is there any question from anyone? Please unmute your mic and you can ask your questions. Anyone having any question here? Okay, is there anyone with more than 20 years of experience here in this seminar? Anyone with more than 20 years?
Yes, I am Abid Usmani,
Abid Usmani, how many years?
21.
21 years, mashallah. Okay, I will take example of Abid Usmani. Mr. Abid, with 21 years of experience, let's say he is filling his application of PMP. So in order to fill your application, you do not need to contact the trainer. You directly go on the website of the governing body, which is www.pmi.org. PMI is the institute, Project Management Institute, which is giving this or awarding this certification, right? Remember, there are many other certifications which are offered by dozens of bodies. Same certification. Six Sigma, for example, ISO, for example, some American bodies, some British bodies, some Canadian bodies. But PMP is offered by only and only and only one body in the world, which is PMI. No other body is authorized to give you PMP title. So one body, one website, you will go directly. So let's say Mr. Abid Usmani, he will go on this website, he will make his profile and he will enter his experience. Now he has experience of 21 years. Requirement is 3 years. So does he need to enter all 21 years? No. He only needs to enter 3 years of his choice. But with one condition here, that it has to be within latest 8 years. So that means if 21 years, so let's say Mr. Abid, he started working in 2003. Now, if he enters experience of, let's say, 2005 to 2006, 2 years, one project, it will not be accepted. If he enters some experience of 2013, it will not be accepted. Only permitted window for Mr. Abid or for everyone is, let's say you attend this course in September and you apply for the PMP exam in October or November. So let's say in November 2024, you are applying for this exam. So you are allowed to enter experience only between November 2016 up till November 2024. Any 3 years of your choice. It could be single project, it could be multiple projects, it could be same company, multiple companies, same country, multiple countries. It could be with gaps also, it could be continuous also. So the point here is you do not need to enter 100% of your experience. Is this point clear to everyone? Any question or confusion from anyone? Please go ahead.
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
This 8 years experience, if I need to uh, share the 3 years,
Not 8,
that is
not
mandate.
8. Within these 8 years, any 3 years.
Yeah, but this is mandatory to work as a project manager or
No,
leader.
no. It could be, your title could be anything. But yes, the way you write your experience, that is important. So when you reach to that point, I always suggest my students that please show it to me before you submit your application. Sometimes some people are actually project managers, but they write it in such a bad way their experience on the project, that their application is rejected. Or
Okay.
sometimes some people, they have no experience of project management, but they write it in such a wonderful way that their application is accepted. So please show it to me before you submit your application. The draft of your project description, show to me. I will also share some samples as well. Any
Okay,
other
thank
question,
you.
please? You're welcome. Any question, please?
So basically, you guide us whenever we are applying for the application, right?
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Any other question from anyone? Okay. So now the second requirement is training requirement. So when I tell you that this is our schedule of the full course, so once you attend this full course from me or from anyone else, I'm not claiming that only if you attend from me only, then you will be getting this. No, you get training from anyone in the world, good trainer, bad trainer, good institute, bad institute, exam application wise, it's same. So it will fulfill your requirement of 35 contact hours. So we will also give you attendance certificate after the last day, inshallah. That will fulfill this requirement. So experience you already have, training certificate we will provide you. After that, your prerequisites are complete. You can apply for the exam. Any question or confusion, please?
PMP is considered as a global certification, right? There won't be any specialization like IT. I mean,
PMP is general.
general. Okay.
Yeah. But yes, now they have recently introduced some other certifications. For example, ACP. ACP purely belongs to IT field, software development, agile certified. And now recently, very recently, they have introduced CP, construction professional. But the title is different. It will not be PMP construction, PMP IT, no. PMP is general for everyone, for all the industries. But yes, then there is ACP, which is for software development. Then there is CP, which is for construction projects. So PMP is general. Any other question, please? Okay, so after you apply for the exam and your application is accepted, you can give the exam after you pay the exam fee. And exam is one test only, 230 minutes and 180 questions. And all the questions will be objective questions, no subjective questions, no paragraphs to be written anywhere, only objective questions, right? So this is your PMP. So after you pass your exam, you are called as PMP. This is how you become PMP. Any question on this slide before I move forward?
How about the pass marks or
I will explain
completion?
that point. I will come to that.
There is a negative marking also.
No, there is no negative mark.
Sir, the duration of exam is 230 minutes at once
With breaks.
with breaks.
With 10 minutes break after every 60 questions.
Once they will give us only 60 questions.
It is computer based, right?
Okay.
So you will, when you finish the first set of 60 questions, you are allowed to take a break of 10 minutes. These 10 minutes will not be counted in your 230 minutes.
And we cannot see that 60 questions after that another 60 questions.
No. After you
previous
come
question.
back from the break, now you cannot go back to previous first 60 questions.
Okay. For review and
No.
okay.
And
Walaikum
do we need
salam
to
wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Yes, please.
do we need to write this exam in authorized center or at home also we can write?
There are both options available. right? You can give exam from home also, you can give exam from exam centers also, but I strongly recommend and suggest that please give the exams from exam centers. That is a much better and convenient experience as compared to giving the exam from home. Some people think that if we are giving exam from home, maybe we can use some books also and some friends or help also. No, it is not possible. In the exam, during the exam, there will be someone continuously watching you through camera, and he will talk to you through mic also. So that experience is not a good experience. It's better that you go to some exam center and give the exam. In every big cities, exams centers are available. Any other questions?
I have a question. This is regarding the training because my mic was not working. I need to ask two things. One thing is that there is 35 PDU, which means that we have to done the training regarding this. But if we have done courses from Coursera, Microsoft, and IBM, so it's considered the 35 PDU or not?
Okay, and what is your second question?
Second question regarding the first one, PR1, that I have a total experience of 22 years. 22 years. But the thing is that as you mentioned that if I am giving the exam in 2024, they will consider from 2016.
Yeah.
So in between, if there is no experience regarding the project management, so it did not cater or what?
You have to provide experience only within these 8 years. That is a mandatory requirement from PMI. We cannot do anything about it. Right?
Okay, thank you. And what about
Welcome.
the first question I asked you
I'm answering.
about? Okay, sure.
So first question, that it is possible that someone has done masters in project management, or you have attended a course of Primavera, or you have attended a course on Microsoft project, or any other project management. Yes, it is acceptable for the exam under this requirement of 35 contact hours. But on the basis of that course, which is not on PMP, you will not be able to prepare for the exam. So these are two different things. Exam application wise, yes, it is acceptable. You say, I have attended a training of 30 hours or 40 hours of Primavera. Okay, fine. That is project management training. You can apply on the basis of that. But in that Primavera training, did you study the book of PMP? No. If you have not studied, you have not understood the concepts of PMP, you will not be able to. I'm not challenging you. Maybe some extraordinary people can still manage it, but I'm talking about 70-80% of the people. You will not be able to understand the book. So if you are not able to understand the book, you will not be able to handle the practice questions. If you are not able to handle the practice questions, you will not be able to pass the exam. So I hope it answers your question, Arsalan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any other question from anyone? Okay, some people ask this question, very common question, that how we will prove our experience. So remember, when you submit your exam application on this website, in the first round, you do not need to upload any document, any experience letter, or any attachment of certificates. In the first round, means it's only a data entry that you will type that from this year to this year, from this university, I have done this program, bachelor's or master's. From this date to this date, I have attended a course from this institute. From this date to this date, I have worked in this project, in this company, and this was my contribution on the project. So just like this data entry. nothing to be attached, nothing to be uploaded. But once you submit your exam application, 10% of the applicants are randomly selected for the audit. So for example, right now there are 37 participants. So if 37 participants, they submit their applications, so maybe 3 to 4 people will come in the audit. Remaining 30 to 31 people will not come in the audit. So 31 people, they can, after this, after they submit their application and PMI reads it. Remember, there is a review which is for 100% of the participants. And there is audit, which is for 10% of the applicants. So review means someone will read it, that the way you have written your project experience, is it qualified or not? On the basis of that, that review, they can reject your application. This is why I told you before you submit your application, please show it to me, the draft of that. So that review is of 1 week, 5 business days. So everyone will pass through these 5 business days, but 10% of the people, they will have an extra additional check of audit. If your application comes in the audit, you will have to upload the copies of your educational certificates, transcripts or degrees, experience letters of those 3 years which you have mentioned in your application, email contacts of the supervisors of those 3 years related projects which you have mentioned in your application, and fourth thing is the training certificate copy. These are the 4 things required in case your application comes in the audit process. Any question or confusion, please?
Sir, I have a question. Now we are in a class of training session. And after how much time we can sit in the exam? Mean how much time we have to sit in the exam? We can take 4 months, 3 months, or 6 months. Are there any limitation for exam?
There is no limitation. You take the training, you apply immediately, you pay the exam fee immediately when your application is approved, you get the booking, maybe you get the exam date of after 3 days. So
No.
limitation wise, there is no limitation, but yes, if you have not studied this before, then you need roughly 2 to 4 months.
Oh, if we need 6 months, or then
No
there is no
problem.
problem.
No problem.
Okay.
There is nothing like that. I was telling minimum time required. For
So
maximum, there is no maximum. You can give
So there
exam
is,
after 10 years, no problem.
so they have set out the exam in a year base, or
No. It is
any
available
time?
just like air tickets, flights, every day available.
Oh, every day available.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Hello?
there would be so many people are getting exam in the same time, or only single person.
No, no. There can be 10 people giving the exam at the same time. No problem.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Any other question, please?
Good evening, Abu Bakr.
Good evening.
This training, after this training session, exam application we have to fill, or before
No, no.
we have to do that?
Before this training, you cannot fill even if you want.
Okay, okay.
Because within that application, you have to mention your training. And
Okay.
that you can do only when the training has been finished.
Okay. Exam fee is different, and this training fees is different.
Exactly. Exactly. Exam fee, you have to pay directly to PMI. We have nothing to do with that.
Okay, okay.
And that is roughly $550 US.
$550. Okay.
Right?
think
Whenever
it's
in life, whenever in life you want, after 1 year, after 10 years, you have to
Okay.
directly pay to PMI, not to us.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think the
Welcome.
fees is changed. I think the fees is changed for PMI.
What is the change fee?
I think $660. I think right now.
Yeah, that I will explain. For the members, it is different. For the non-members, it is different. I will explain that point.
Okay.
But
Thank
keep
you.
in mind 550. or even less.
Okay, boss.
Okay, exam, as I told you, you can give from home also, you can give from exam center also. It's better if you give from the exam centers. Exam center is much better experience. Every big city has nice facilities, and wherever you have peers and VU centers available, you can give exam there. I remember I gave exam in Riyadh also. I gave exam of PMP, I gave exam in Riyadh. No, sorry. For PMP, actually, I gave exam in Lahore in 2005. In Lums. People from Pakistan, they know. At that time, there was a center in Lums only. Then I gave RMP exam in 2012 in Riyadh. Then I gave exam in 2020 in Lahore again, FC College Lahore. So in every big cities, there are multiple exam centers available. You can search it online after your application is approved. You do not need to go to exam center in order to book your exam. No, you can do it remotely online. So computer-based exam, 180 questions, objective 230 minutes. On average, you have 76 seconds, but it is not required that you have to answer in 76 seconds. If you like, you can spend 5 minutes on a question. If you like, you can spend 5 seconds on a question. It's purely up to you. When you decide, you click on next button, then the next question will come. Right? But you have to keep in mind that overall there are 180 questions. Overall, there are 230 minutes. So on average, I have 76 seconds to answer each question. So that you should go in your mind. There's no negative marking. Out of 180 questions, 5 questions have zero weightage. Zero weightage means regardless you answer them or you do not answer them, it will have no impact in your final score. Right? But the problem is there is no indication that which 5 questions. So as you will not know which 5 questions, so you will have to respect all the questions equally. Right? So you will respect all the questions, but you do not know which 5 are zero weightage. The passing marks, roughly 60 to 75% passing marks. The reason I am giving you a range here because PMI, they do not declare any passing marks. They just say, we will assess your exam. We will tell you, you have passed the exam or failed the exam. That's it. And the exam result is given to you immediately. After you finish your exam, you are told you have passed or failed. But the result that they give you, they do not give you in quantitative form. Quantitative form means numbers, that you scored 70%, you scored 60%, no. They give you exam result in qualitative form. What is meant by qualitative form? When you finish the exam, on the screen, you get pass or fail. This is qualitative. Now, when you come outside the lab of your exam center, you inform your attendant that I have finished my exam. He will give you a printout. On that printout, overall pass or fail will be mentioned. Plus, PMP exam is split, not graphically split. It's not that now they're asking question from this area, now they're asking question from this area. No, they will not have any distribution on the screen. But yes, there is a fixed distribution of 42% will come from people domain, 50% of the questions will come from process domain, and 8% of the questions will come from business domain. And on your exam result, they will tell you qualitative assessment that in people domain, you were on target or below target or above target, your performance overall. Similarly, process on target, below target, or above target. On business, on target or below target or above target. So this is ranking only, qualitative assessment, no quantitative assessment. Any question or confusion, please?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I have one question. This result, let's assume somebody fails, so and he gets the result also that he's failed. Can he challenge? Can he go for the test to be double checked again? Is it possible?
Yeah, now they keep on changing such policies. Recently, they have introduced that and they have that with additional fee. So rechecking is available now.
But they charge additional
Yeah.
fee for it.
Yeah.
And one more thing, that does the PMP certificate have any validity, like
I will
2 years?
explain that point. I have a slide for that. I will explain that point.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question from anyone? Okay, the exam software looks like this. It will have two main screens. Screen 1 will show each question in this format, statement and options. One question at a time. And when you press on next, then it will disappear and next question will appear. If you click on previous, you will go to previous question. So within 60 questions, you can go forward or backward as many times as you like. And all the 60 questions will remain editable. Even you can change the answers also. And remaining time will be shown here. And the calculator is available here. If you like, you can use it. And there is an important feature here, flag for review. So for example, question number 14 you were attempting, and due to any reason, you feel that it is a tough question and I do not want to answer it right now. Right? Or you have answered it, but you are not confident about the answer and you want to revisit it if time allows. So you can flag for review, and when you go to review screen anytime you like, you will be shown this question number 14 is flagged. You can click on that directly and it will open again in this screen. So this is how the flag for review feature works. Yes, Hafiz Muhammad Ali Hassan, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, giving me a time. So I have a question that just like in a BCSP examination, if any person unfortunately fails, so he has to wait for the 6 weeks to give another exam. So is there any such kind of the same perception we are using a PMI, or if a
No.
person fails, so no?
You can book immediately after 1 week even. You can give the exam, no issues.
And so second thing, is there any limitation for the attempts? How many attempts we can give in a
Yeah.
month, in a year?
Within 1 year, you can give 3 attempts only. If you fail in all 3 attempts, then there is a ban for 1 year before you can apply again. But
All right.
mostly, at least, alhamdulillah, in my students, 90% of the people, they pass in first attempt.
Oh, mashallah, very nice.
Alhamdulillah, right?
Sir,
So
last
I'm
question.
not saying that it is only because of me. Another major contributing factor is that when people reach to this stage, professionals, you invested on the training itself, you spent time from your weekends, you did some study 2-3 months, you have families also, so you are determined, you are committed, and another reason, $550, around 2,000 reals. So when you reach to this level of seriousness and commitment, so people do good preparation. So commitment is already there, guidance is from my side. So when these two things combine, alhamdulillah, the result probability is more than 90% that people pass in first attempt. Very rarely people do not follow my suggestions or roadmap. They give the exam, they fail, and they learn from their mistakes, and they give the second attempt and they pass. So keep in mind, inshallah, you will be in 90% and you will pass in first attempt. In worst case, you should be able to pass in the second attempt. Any other question, please?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And my last question for you is that you asked in the previous slides that you have different questions like objective-based MCQs and column matching, something like you are explaining. So all are MCQs, or they are something other than how much percentage of the MCQs and how much percentage
Nowhere you have to type lines or paragraphs, right? So
Okay.
90% of the questions you can say MCQs. Very few you can say like true false type and matching definitions on each other. You do not have to type anything or any lines or
Okay,
any
sir. Thank you so much.
paragraphs.
Thank you so much for your answer.
Yeah, okay. Any other question from anyone, please?
Yeah, actually, I have one question. Since there is no negative marking, so what shall we do in case if we are unable to answer any question, but yet we have to mark all the questions?
See, you do not have to mark all the questions, but you shall mark all the questions. Now, let's say there is a question with 4 options and you do not know the right answer, but at least you can use some common sense and say, I can surely say D cannot be an answer and B cannot be an answer. So only A and C. So randomly select something from A or C at least. So if you do that thing with 10 questions, probability is that 5 will be right at the end. So there is no harm in actually selecting some answers with carefully random selection. Any other question, please? Okay, this is the exam fee. So exam fee, if you are a PMI member, the exam fee is less. They have recently increased that for the non-members. If you are a non-member, it is 655 plus VAT. And the membership is 139 US dollars. So now if you add these two, as I told you, it is roughly 550 US dollars, right? Or even sometimes less than that. On what basis, I will explain to you. So it is always recommended take the membership and then apply for the exam. It will cost you $550. But if you skip the membership and directly apply, it will be 655. Now, how you can avoid VAT? Not for everyone, only for selected people, selected countries. For example, Pakistan. If you are from Pakistan, give your home address where you want to receive the certificate in Pakistan, and there will be 0 VAT on that. You can give exam from Saudi Arabia, no issues. So similarly, if you belong to a country where there is no VAT available, because in India, if you give home address of India, I think there's 16% GST on that. So there is no saving actually. If you apply from Saudi address, it will charge you 15% tax. If you apply from Indian address, it will charge you 16% tax. So this is one way to save some money on that. Secondly, some countries, sometimes, like these days, Lebanon, Yemen, Pakistan, I'm not sure now available or not in that list, but recent few years since there was a big flood in Pakistan in 2021, so there was like $120, $30 extra discount for these troubled countries also, right? So these are two ways to save some fee of the exam. Any question or confusion on that?
How about in Kuwait?
You can check. I do not know. You can check. But Kuwait, mashallah, rich country. I'm not sure there's any trouble in that. But if there's no tax, no VAT, So
There's
at
no
least you
VAT
can.
here.
Okay, wonderful. You save it, right?
How do I check the cost of the pricing?
Only after you apply for the exam
Okay.
and at the time of making the payment, then you will get to know.
Okay.
Second attempt, in case you do not pass in first attempt, 275 for the members, 375 for the non-members. Third attempt also same. Within 1 year, within one application, you can give exam 3 times. Result is given immediately on the spot. Any question or confusion? Additional benefits of taking membership. First of all, $139, that is going to save you some extra amount, roughly $100. You get access to PMI library and you can download their official versions of their books and documents. You become part of worldwide community. This is good for networking in every chapter of PMI, like Riyadh chapter, Dammam chapter, Saudi chapter, Kuwait chapter, Dubai chapter. There are networking sessions, meetings, breakfast, seminars. So you get to know about each other. You make good connections which help you in your professional life. Yeah, you can review the conducted salary surveys also, that where the difference is maximum or how much is the difference. Let's say as a planning engineer in Saudi Arabia with 10 years experience, with PMP, how much is the average salary income, and without PMP, how much is the average income. Same is the same comparison you can check in Germany, Europe, or Australia, or Canada, or USA, like this also. So this is a good document which is helpful in reviewing the salaries difference with PMP or without PMP. PMP is not for life. It is valid for 3 years. But the good thing is that it is renewable without exam. PMP is renewable without exam with the condition that if you keep on attending more trainings in the next 3 years, if the total duration or the total certificates PDUs are 60, your PMP will be renewed for another 3 years without exam. For example, and it's not necessary you attend from me only, you can attend from anyone. For example, I offer Primavera training. And I give like 20 or 22 PDUs for that. I conduct Microsoft project training. I conduct ACP training, 23 PDUs. I conduct risk management training, 30 PDUs. So if you attend my trainings or if you attend trainings from anyone else, the total duration of hours or PDUs is 60 or more, your certification will be renewed for another 3 years without exam. And there is no distribution restriction that it has to be 20 in the first year, 20 in the second year. No, it could be all 60 in the first year. It could be all 60 in the last year. There is no distribution restriction. Let's say at the end of third year, you do not have 60 PDUs, you have 59 PDUs. You have 0 PDUs, you have 30 PDUs. So at the end of third year, your certification will be suspended. And you will be given a warning year, fourth year, as a grace period, that now in this fourth year, if you want, you can attend, collect 60 PDUs, otherwise it's gone. So if you collect the missing PDUs in the fourth year, your certification will be reverted back to the normal state. Now, for any reason, let's say the fourth year is also gone. Now your certification will be cancelled and now you can get it back only by giving exam. And remember, these things are verifiable from your PMP certificate and online PMI website also. So you cannot do this, okay, I have passed, I have certificate once, now I can tell even after 10 years to any company that I am PMP certified. They can check from your certificate dates, they can check it online also. Any question or confusion, please?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, Bilal.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, Dr. Shanwaz here.
Yeah.
I have a small clarification required regarding the suspension and cancellation. So, what is the actually difference between suspension and cancellation in fourth year?
You can say, I'm sure you know the concept of talaq or divorce. So you can say it's first divorce, second divorce, third divorce. After third divorce, khalas. No way of coming back. So that is same analogy. That third year is a period where you can, after third year, at the end of third year, so between third to fourth year, you have a chance of coming back to PMP status, right? But after fourth year, now you cannot come back to PMP unless and until you give exam again. Is it clear?
Yeah, means I will not be able to use that certificate in fourth year. So, I cannot
You
mention like I
cannot
am
use
PMP
in your
person.
signatures that I am PMP certified.
Mhm. Okay, clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question, please?
I have a question.
Yeah.
For example, if I do this additional PDUs in the first year, so it will be accumulated
Yeah.
later
Yeah,
years
yeah.
sort of.
So let's say you collect all the 60 PDUs in the first year, right? So now your PMP is valid for another 5 years. 2
Right.
years from the first cycle and 3 additional years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And one more thing, that even if you deliver a training, for example, I am delivering training, this is also PDU for me. So it's not necessary that you have to attend trainings only. If you deliver a training also, that is also a PDU for you. And it's not necessarily paid training. It could be your company trainings also. You can attend also, you can deliver also. Any other question, please?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Regarding this trainings, right? Like you mentioned, P6, Microsoft project. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do any other trainings also other than
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
or it is
You can do
specific training?
ITIL, you can do Six Sigma, you can do ISO, anything.
If somebody like he is doing the communication skills or root
See, it
cause
has to
failure analysis,
somehow
something like
relate to project management, right? So Six Sigma, yes. ITIL, yes. Communication, I don't think so, but I cannot say for sure that it is acceptable or not. I have to check in the list of PMI.
Okay, fine.
Right. Any other question, please?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This is Muhammad Adil. I am from Libya.
Welcome.
Basically, I'm Pakistani.
Yeah.
Working as here as an engineer, this background. So I can took the exam for the PMP because if I have no ever experience about the project management.
How much total experience you have?
I have 15-year experience.
So in last 15 years, what you have done?
As an engineer.
No, as an engineer, what you have done?
HS engineer.
You have never worked on projects?
I was from the beginning, I'm working in the project, but not as a project manager.
So it's not necessary you worked as a project manager or not, but yes, did you make any plans? For sure, yes. Did you check during execution that is it going as per plan or not? So this is how you need to frame your application. If you put it in this way that yes, I have done this planning also, execution also, controlling also, regardless if your title is not a project manager, still it is acceptable. So that's why I said, please show it to me before you submit your application. Right?
So, right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right. Okay, some sample questions. Just to show you how the questions can be asked in the exam. So let's say sometimes they ask you questions in this way, that there is a statement, there are 4 options, and they are asking which out of these 4 is a false option. Which of the following is not true of obtaining project plan approval? So can you read these 4 options and can you tell me that which one you think is a false option?
D.
C is the false.
C. 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 In this case, it's C.
Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of first option? Until you obtain plan approval, you don't need to put changes to it through change control. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of that?
It means if the plan is not approved yet, you can make any changes in the plan as per your requirement.
Okay. Anyone else?
What is your question actually?
I'm asking
This
what
which
is
is
the
the first-
meaning of option A?
Until and unless it's approved in I mean all the testing environments, it's a change control, and still we get a sign off.
Okay.
So when the plan is not approved, that means it is still in consideration, preparation, drafting. When it is
That is
approved,
that is called under discussion or under approval, correct?
when it is approved, what it is called as?
Final plan या approved plan?
There is a famous term.
I mean proposal.
No. Submittal. Project plan
It is called as a
submittal.
baseline plan,
Baseline.
right? So after baseline, if you have to make any change, can you make it directly? No, you have to take permission. From whom? From those people who gave the approval of that plan, right? Before baselining, you can change anything. So what do you think? This is true or false? Option A is true or false?
True.
True. So question is asking about not true, so it cannot be an answer. Change control makes sure that only approved changes can make it into the approved plan. True or false?
True.
That's true.
That
True.
false.
Cannot be an answer.
Yes.
Only one person needs to approve the project management plan, and that is the project manager. True or false?
True.
That is false.
That's
False.
true.
False.
False.
It's false.
That can be an answer. Fourth, it is important for the entire team to buy into. What is meant by buy into?
To agree on.
Agree on, consensus, involvement, participation, ownership. The project management team for it to be successful. So is it true or false?
It's true.
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 Yeah,
So
it's
cannot
true.
be an answer. So C is the right answer. So this is how sometimes they ask you questions. Next question, very important concept. So by showing you the questions, please keep your mics to mute mode. By showing you the questions, I am teaching you concepts also. Just I'm giving you an idea that what type of questions can come. Using that opportunity, I am teaching you some concepts also. So let's say we have to construct a wall in 10 days and 1000 Riyal is the total budget. At the end of 4th day, we have completed 20% and we have spent 300 Riyals on that. Assuming linear planning means equally distributed, what can we report about the project out of these 4 options?
So D is the
Option
right
number
answer.
D.
Option D.
Yes, it's B. B.
So total
Sorry.
time is 10 days. Out of that, 4 days have passed. So 40% time has passed.
It is a behind the schedule and overspending.
How much work is finished?
20%.
20%.
20%. How much budget is spent?
Approx 30%.
30% budget is spent. So in 40% time, we have finished 20% of the work. So time-wise, is it a good situation or a bad situation?
Bad.
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 Bad situation. So option A is out and option C is out. Now cost-wise, is it good situation, bad situation?
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
It's overspending.
It is over spending.
If we compare 30% budget spent in 40% time, it looks like good situation and saving money. If we compare 30% budget spent on 20% work, please keep your mics to mute mode, please. 20% work, it looks like a bad situation, overspending. So both comparisons are there. What do you think? Which one is a better or logical comparison?
The logical comparison is this, that with the remaining one is approx 60%. Okay, 80%. If we go for this, that we will be on the bad situation. So light, it would be the behind schedule and over speeding.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir. It should be B.
B.
Option number B.
So remember, the spending should always be compared against accomplishment.
Option D.
D is the right answer. How much you have spent and how much you have achieved. Spending should not be compared against time passed. So D is the right answer. This is overspending. One more question. You are a PM of a railroad construction project. Your sponsor has asked you for a forecast. Can you tell me what is meant by a forecast? Anyone?
Yeah, sure. Forecast means what you have right now and what you are actually going to present in the future. That would be the forecast.
Let me make it easier for you. Cost forecast and cost plan. What is the difference in these two terms?
Actually, there is main thing are there. That's an actual, and other would be consumptions. Like what you have the plan, like the budgeted thing, and what will expend actually, it will be the forecast.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, sir. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, cost plan is what we plan in the starting of the planning stage, and the cost forecast at the moment of the time that we see what will be in the future, I think. Thank you.
Can you tell me in this situation what is or how much is cost plan and how much is cost forecast?
Cost plan is 1,000 Saudi Riyal, 1,000 Saudi Riyal.
Okay, and the cost forecast?
Cost forecast.
Cost forecast 700 for the remainder.
Cost forecast will be, you may be overspending from the budget.
So tell me the
The
number.
cost forecast will be 1,000 and 1,100.
Okay, 1100 one answer. Any other answer?
Sir, there is dual thing. Like dual thing is that you have a plan for the budget of 100,000.
Tell me the number
This
only.
number only. Okay, it should be just a second.
1,500, I think.
As per productivity, 1,500.
$1,500 is the right answer. On 20% of the work, we have spent 300. Please keep your mics to mute mode. Whenever you have to answer something, then you can unmute and then you can speak. Okay. So on 20%, you have spent 300. So on 100%, you will spend 1,500 multiplied by 5. So you can easily understand now that our plan was 1,000, but so far performance suggests that as we are overspending, and if we continue overspending in future for the remaining project, this project will overall cost us 1,500 instead of 1,000. This is the concept of the forecast. Now here the situation is the project has a total budget of 80,000 and CPI, another very important term. Can anyone tell me what is full form of CPI?
Cost performance index.
Cost performance indicator.
Index or indicator? CPI. It means your spending efficiency. That how you are spending your project budget. Maybe you can say this is the most important factor, most important KPI on your project.
Earned value divided by actual cost.
So if we say CPI is 0.95, that means actually we are spending our budget 95% efficiently. An easy example to understand this percentage concept, let's say in the plan, we wanted to buy this pen, this stylus. And in the project plan, we have kept $95 for this pen in the plan. During execution, when we actually purchase this in the market, we buy it in $100. So by spending $100, the work of worth $95 I have accomplished. So my CPI will be 0.95 in this example. So slightly overspending, not very bad, but yes, it is bad. The project has spent so far 25,000 of its total budget. How much more is required? So as you can see, the total budget was 80,000. these three values are more than or equal to 80,000, as our CPI is not very bad, so it has to be less than 80,000. So the lesson here is, in the exam, sometimes you can answer questions just on the basis of logic, that this cannot be an answer, this cannot be an answer, this cannot be an answer. Whatever is left is automatically the right answer. One more question, last question, sample question, right?
Elimination.
So if we have a situation like this, although now in the exam they are not asking numericals, but this is a very important concept for general project management. Let's say we have 9 activities in a project: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Their durations are given. A is 5 days, B 6 days, C 4, D 3, E1, F4, G14, H12, and I2. Their predecessors are given, prerequisites are given. A has no predecessor, B has no predecessor, C can be started when A is finished. Similarly, D on A, E on A, F on E, G on both D and F, H on B and C, I on G and H. If this is the situation, what do you think? How much is the total project duration?
$20.
It will be 26. A.
So the way how we do it, we make a network diagram. We will discuss in more detail in the full course, inshallah. So we make a network diagram and we find all the paths in between A, D, G, I, A, E, F, G, I, A, C, H, and B, H, I, and then we calculate the total duration of each path, and then whatever is the longest path is called as critical path, and the critical path duration is the project duration. So this is how we calculate it, right? Please keep your mics to mute mode. I'm requesting again and again. Just as some of you ask this question, that why PMP? Why should we do PMP? Although I tell them that, sorry, I'm not here to convince you why should you do PMP. You already working in your industry, you know the importance of that more than me. Right? But just to remind you that PMP generally, and this is official PMI conducted salary surveys, that people who are PMP certified generally get 16% higher salaries versus the same experience, same title people who are non-PMPs. Sometimes it is mandatory by your organization. Many people come to me, they contact me that we want to do PMP because in our organization, they have made it mandatory for us to do PMP. So for the promotion, sometimes it is mandatory or helpful. Much higher chances of getting shortlisted when applying for a job. As you know more than me, you are looking jobs, advertisements always. So you see that in the job advertisements, PMP required or PMP will be preferred is mentioned most of the time. You become familiar with the project management terminology that you can use confidently everywhere in the meetings. Same. It should not happen that sometimes you are saying this term and sometimes the same concept you are referring to with another term. You become confident while participating in the meetings and the presentations and the interviews. You start planning and managing aspects of projects which you were not doing better or managing or planning before. This is good for networking and connections also, and good for knowing effective solutions for typical problems that you've come across in your projects. So these are few benefits of doing PMP. After 15 minutes, we will take a prayer break, and then for 15 minutes, and then we will resume, inshallah. So far, what I am explaining to you, that the certification aspects only. Now I am going to show you the course contents, that what we will cover in the training, what will be coming in the exam. So PMP has these 11 topics. You can say these are 11 chapters. That when we are saying PMP, PMP means project management, and when we are doing project management, we manage scope, we manage schedule, we manage cost, we manage quality, we manage resources, we manage communications, we manage risk, we manage procurement, we manage stakeholders, we manage integration. These are called as 10 knowledge areas. These are called as 10 knowledge areas. And this 11th one is the style of project management, is a way of project management. There are two main styles of project management. One is called as predictive. Second is called as adaptive. Predictive is also called as traditional or waterfall. Adaptive is also called as agile or change driven. Now, what is the difference? And just to give you some background of that, Agile concept was introduced by PMI. Agile was not introduced by PMI for the first time. It was there in 2005. But PMI, in the PMP certification, they included that chapter or concept in 2017. So from 2017 up till 2020, it was part of PMI book, which is called as PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. Although this topic was there, but it was not coming in the exam questions. From January 2021 onwards, they have started asking questions on Agile. And I told you earlier that there are distribution of questions. One distribution is people, process, and business. People 42%, process 50%, and business 8%. So it becomes 100%. This is one distribution. At the same time, they are splitting that in these two also. That in the exam, 50% of the questions will come from predictive methodology and 50% of the questions will come from adaptive methodology. So it is possible that there is a question in the exam which belongs to people domain. People mean stakeholders. It could be team also, manpower also. So it belongs to stakeholders also, and it belongs to agile management also. So at the same time, it is coming under 42% also and this 50% also. So this percentage is given by PMI. So you can imagine a big percentage of exam questions will come from agile methodology. Any question or confusion?
It
Yes, sir.
means
Can you hear me, sir?
50% of the exam is from this agile only,
Yeah.
the last chapter.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, regarding this PM BOK, it's not distributed like this people, process, and business. It's distributed like in the chapters.
Yeah. What's the question?
The question is that this distribution is people 42%, process 50%, business 8%, and the book, this PM BOK, the book regarding
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
that's distributed in
That
the
doesn't
chapters,
matter.
not like this.
Doesn't matter. So they are just telling you that we will ask questions in this percentage split.
Oh, okay.
This is not that how you will prepare.
Okay.
That you are now studying people only.
Okay.
But when you will study those 10 chapters, automatically these domains will be covered.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
For example, your stakeholder management. This stakeholder management, it covers people. But stakeholder management can be under resource management also. These people.
Okay.
Right. Similarly, all these 10 have processes. All 10.
Okay.
Now, if you go to cost management, business concept is there also. If you go to integration management, business concept is here also. If you go to risk management, business concept is here also. If you go to procurement management, business concept is here also. So that is not that you will prepare in that people, process, and business domain. No, you will prepare in this knowledge area domain wise, knowledge area chapters wise, and implicitly your 3 domains will be covered. Any other question? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will just give you an introduction, few minutes introduction on all these 10, and maybe we will finish before time. So maybe after the break, we will need another 40 minutes maybe. So by 9:30 maximum, maybe. I think so. We will finish before 9:30, inshallah. But we will take a break in 10 minutes, inshallah. Okay, scope management. When we use term scope, some people use term requirements. Sometimes people use term scope. So can anyone tell me, what do you think? Are they same or different? Requirements and scope is the same thing or a different thing? Anyone, please?
There are this having only a one thing which is different, that having a scope make the requirements.
Anyone else?
So scope is actually a boundaries where we have bounded that it will be consistent on some boundaries. Requirements can be, so both are different.
What comes first?
Scope
Requirements,
come first. Scope come
requirements.
first.
Can I, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, the requirements is first come and from the client, and then the PM comes and comes with the requirements, and he make the scope. Thank you.
Anyone else?
As from my thinking, that scope will come first, because if you have the scope, you can make the requirements.
Yes, I will also acknowledge this concept that scope comes first, because scopes defines limitations and boundaries, and requirements fall within the scope.
If I say problem and solution, what do you think? Requirement is the better word for problem, or scope is the problem?
Scope is a better word.
Solution is requirement or solution is scope?
Solution is requirement and problem is scope.
Think again about it. Requirement is problem or scope is problem?
Okay, scope is a problem and requirement is a solution.
I think the other way. The requirement is basically a problem for which we are looking for a solution, and we
Right.
define it like this.
Requirement or needs or purpose of the project. Why we are doing this project? That is basically the problem background. And that is called as requirements. This is not resource requirement. Do not mix it with resource requirements. Solution is the deliverable. Solution is the outcome. Scope is the solution. Scope is the deliverable, which will address the requirements. So now we identify problem first or we identify the solution first? Of course, the problem first. Right? So customer and contractor. What do you think? Customer will explain problems to the contractor or customer will explain solution to the contractor?
Problems.
He will give the problem
Solution.
Customer will explain
requirements.
to the user.
Customer will give the solution.
Customer give problems and scope give solutions.
One very easy example, daily life example. You go to pharmacy, sadly, right? And you tell that person that I am tired, I'm having fever, I'm having headache. Please give me something. So are you telling problem to him or solution to him?
Problem.
Problem. And he says, sir, please take Panadol and sleep for some time.
Solution, sir.
He is proposing you solution. You agree, you make the payment, you take that and bring it home. This is one scenario. Now, is it possible next time you go and you say, give me Panadol? You are in the same situation. You are having headache, you are having fever, you are tired. But is it possible this time you are not telling the problem, you are just telling him, give me Panadol? Possible or not?
Yes,
That should be possible.
Possible. So that means when the customer has already faced the similar situations in past, he knows what is required in this certain scenario, what are the deliverables. Sometimes, so we cannot say always the customer will explain the problems or requirements to the contractor and then he will always propose the solution. Sometimes the customer will explain or document the requirements and give to the contractor. Sometimes he will make the deliverables list and directly give to the contractor, I need this and this and this and this with these specifications. That's it. How do I know? That is my problem. My headache. I have done my analysis. Or maybe I engage someone else to do this analysis. So both scenarios are possible. Sometimes the customer will give the requirements to the contractor in the form of RFP or request for proposal or bid documents or tender documents, or sometimes the customer will give the solution scope deliverables to the contractor and ask for the proposals in terms of time and cost. Any question or confusion up to this point, please?
No, nothing.
So in the scope, we use term problem, requirement, scope, solution. Overall, that chapter name is called as scope management. Within the scope management, we are addressing the requirements also, we are addressing the scope also. I'm just explaining or making you familiar with the selected terminology. I'm not going to explain you 100% thing right now. We will spend many hours on each chapter. This is almost 40 hours course. So on average 2-3 hours we will spend on each chapter. But right now I'm just giving you an idea about each chapter. So scope management, I told you what is requirement, what is scope. Very famous term, WBS. Any idea what is WBS?
Work breakdown structure.
Work breakdown structure. What is the purpose of that?
Basically, this gives you a clear picture where the cost, respective cost should be charged, booked into.
That is an additional purpose of that, but not the main purpose. What is the main
Division
purpose
of
of
the scope.
WBS? Division of the
Of the
scope.
scope.
What benefit we achieve when we divide the scope?
Easy to monitor as per deliverables.
Easy to monitor, agreed, fine. Even before monitoring, we can say easy to plan also, easy to
Easy to
execute
select.
also. So in
To
short,
avoid risk as well.
we simplify the scope. We decompose the scope into smaller manageable pieces. Easy example, then we will take a break here. If I tell you that these are the 10 chapters in project management, Agile, I'm not counting it as a part of 10 knowledge areas. So just in these 10 only. So these are the 10 parts of project management. Why? Because we say project management is a huge field. We make 10 parts of that. So this is an example of WBS. Why? So that we can focus on one chapter at a time. Within scope itself is a big field. So we say, okay, let's distribute it further in 6 processes. Further simplify. So similarly, in your projects also, big projects, small project could be 2-level decomposition. Big project could be 5, 6, 7, 10-level decomposition also of WBS. So purpose is to make it simplified so that we can plan, execute, monitor separately, and overall integrated mega project can be handled. So this is the concept of WBS. Here we will take a 15 minutes break. After 15 minutes, I will explain you further about the remaining topics, and it looks like that we will finish before our scheduled time. Our scheduled time is 10 p.m. Saudi time, but it looks like we will finish by 9:20, 9:30 p.m. inshallah. So you can stay connected on the same meeting. After 15 minutes, we will resume inshallah. I'm back now. So before break, we were discussing about the 10 knowledge areas in project management, and the first one is scope management. Now, if I say scope management means what? I'm not actually asking you a question. I'm telling you scope management focuses on what? That what will be produced when we finish this project? What will be produced? And when we say schedule management focuses on how it will be produced. So when we say how includes activities. And just to clarify, or let me first ask you this question, can anyone tell me what is the difference between tasks and activities? Yes, anyone please?
Task is something which is your duty, and activities may and may not be your duties.
Anyone else?
जी sir. Task I think a whole package of work है और activities is a last जो task का जो last level है वो activities है.
Anyone else?
Task is basically what is assigned to you, and activity is a group of tasks is equal to activity.
Okay, someone else was speaking.
Physical work, what we do, that is the activity, and task is the overall, can say.
Anyone in this room, have you ever used Primavera P6? Anyone?
Yes.
You have used. So, Saptan, have you seen tasks in Primavera?
Yes.
Have you seen tasks in
No,
Primavera?
no. It is actually the activity.
Activities.
Yes.
So you have seen activities in Primavera, but no tasks. Anyone
No.
in this room has used Microsoft Project? Anyone?
Yes, I used, but not as much.
Have you seen activities in Microsoft Project?
Not actually.
No. Have you seen tasks?
Not specified.
Then
But
what is
little
there?
bit. Actually, I'm not remember the thing, but something related to this I saw. Because it's been at I think one
Okay,
and a
I
half year.
tell
I
you
don't remember.
that you have used Microsoft Project. In Microsoft Project, tasks are there, activities are not there. In Primavera P6, activities are there, tasks are not there. So actually both are same. It's only terminology difference. Microsoft Project uses concepts of tasks and subtasks and subtasks to represent WBS and activities in Primavera. So in PMP or PMI terminology, we use term activities also, tasks also, but in software, Primavera P6 uses concept of activities and Microsoft Project task, both are same. In PMP exam, questions, task and term can also be used, activity can also be used. Okay, so we define activities, we sequence activities. Sequence means finish to start, start to start, start to finish, finish to finish. We estimate the duration, we apply critical path method, and we find out the total duration of the project. This is all about schedule management. Then we do cost management. For cost management, As you know that we have already defined the activities before. Each activity needs resources. Resources can be of multiple types. Can you tell me how many types of resources are there?
Man, machinery,
Manpower,
material.
machine, and material. 3 M's. In Primavera, we call it as labor, non-labor, and material. So every type of resource has a certain per hour, per unit, per kg, per gallon, per kilometer, per meter rate. So let's say we need resource 1, resource 2 on activity 1, and activity 1 is of 5 days duration. So 5 days into 8 hours, 40 hours into resource 1 rate plus resource 2 rate into 40. So can we calculate the cost of activity 1? Yes. So just by doing this multiplication mathematics, we can do costing of all the activities. And when we combine the sum of all the activities, we get the project cost, and we can distribute it on time scale, which is called as cash flow. So this is what we do in cost management. Then quality management. Quality means meeting or exceeding the expectations of the customer. Under the concept of quality, we use terms QA and QC. QA means quality assurance. QC means quality control. Can anyone tell me the difference between these two terms?
During the process of the delivery and production is quality assurance, and the quality control is when the product is finished to check the finalize the checked or the production is quality control, I think so.
So if I say before making a product or a deliverable, during making a product or a deliverable, and after making a product or a deliverable. When we are checking before making something, when we are checking anything before making something, is it QA or QC?
QA.
Yeah, I think
When
it's
we
planning.
are checking during making something, is it Q or QC?
Control.
It's QA.
QC. During
And
control.
when we are checking after making something, is it Q or QC?
QC.
Very easy example. You go to any electronics shop, right? Please keep your mics to mute mode, Arsalan. So let's say you go to some electronics shop. You are going to buy some keyboard, some mouse, some mobile phone, maybe anything, lamp, searchlight. Do you notice, or have you noticed, that on each box there is a small sticker which typically says QC passed or QC checked? Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this gives you a concept. What is the purpose of QC? So QC is basically a layer between manufacturer and customer. Whatever the manufacturer is producing, it passes through QC. If it is okay, they allow it to send to customer and they say QC passed. If it is not okay, they send it back, fix it or throw it or discard it. So QC is reactive or proactive? What do you think?
Proactive.
Proactive.
No, it's clear.
QC is reactive. Why reactive? Because we are checking something after making it. In this context, it is reactive. QA, or let me put it in this way, QC definition. QC is to find, easiest term, even a schoolboy can understand. QC is to find the defects in the product. Very easy. And when you can find the defects in the product, when it is done, when it is finished. QA is to minimize. I'm not saying fixing. Fixing is another thing. Minimize, or better word is avoid the defects in the product. So that's why when we are doing some actions, taking some actions before making something, it is QA. When we are taking some actions during making it, it is QA. When we are checking it once it is done, it is QC. So QA is proactive. QC is reactive. QA is to avoid the defects in the product. QC is to find the defects in the product. Any question or confusion, please?
Clear.
Resource management. As I told you, there are 3 types of resources: manpower, machine, and material. Whenever in PMP, we use term resource, it covers all 3 types of resources: manpower, machine, material. But somewhere we use term team. So team is a subset of resources, but team only refers to manpower. So there are certain aspects which are only required for manpower, not required for machine, not required for materials. For example, appraisals, motivation, demotivation, conflicts. These are trainings. These are required only for manpower. These are not required for machines and materials, unless until we talk about AI machines, right? So that is a separate topic. So when we use term team, that means it is also a resource, but only manpower resource. But when we use term resource, that means all 3 types of resources. Communication management. When we say communication management means when different stakeholders communication management means information sharing. And who will share the information? Who will produce the information? Who will need the information? Stakeholders. When we say stakeholder, who is a stakeholder? Can anyone tell me who is a stakeholder?
Impacted by the project or impacted by the project.
Right. Anyone who can.
Anyone who is directly or indirectly impacting the project, it is actually a stakeholder.
Right. Anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project, he is a stakeholder. Usually we think that the stakeholder is only the sponsor. No. Even let's say you are making a shopping mall. Right now on that land, there is a village. They are not even aware that after 5 years there will be a shopping mall here. So those people who are living on that land, miskin people, they're not powerful, they're not decision makers, they're also stakeholders. So project can impact the stakeholders, stakeholders can impact the project both in negative or positive ways. So different stakeholders need different information in different frequency, in different format. For example, your team leader needs to know, or before the team leader, your team member If I'm a team member, I need to know what is my assignment today. This is my basic information requirement. Or in this month, or in this week, or the prerequisite of that is done or not. The team leader needs to know how many people are late in my team today or absent today so that I can plan the backups. The finance guy needs to know how much was spent in this month and how much is required next month. Maybe safety guy needs to know how many incidents were there in last month. Maybe the customer needs to know my project is on track or not. If not, what you are doing to recover. So different people, different stakeholders need different information in a different frequency. Frequency means daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, in different format. Some people, they say, just send me a WhatsApp message. Okay for me. Some people say, no, send me a formal email. Some people say, send me a written printed report, hard copy, signed and stamped. So different information in different frequency, in different format, everything comes under communication management, risk management. Now, when we say risk, there is an associated or very close term to that, which is issue. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between risk and issue?
The first difference is that the intensity of the risk and issue is different. Risk is actually based on maybe quantitative or qualitative. We may say that risk is by mathematics. Issue is a smaller part of the risk.
Anyone else?
I think something when it's happen, it's called issue. And risk is to identify the risk, the qualitative or quantitative, the positive and the negative way. Before in the planning and in the planning.
If I say it is raining right now, is it an issue or risk?
Issue.
Issue.
That's an issue.
If I say it may rain next week,
It's a risk.
It's a risk.
so the difference between issue and risk is fact and possibility. Issue has occurred already. Risk is may or may not happen in future. So this is the difference between risk and issue. Now, we identify the risks in the projects. For example, as you remember, I told you the class, the formal full class is starting from 27 September, inshallah. And just to remind you, I do courses after a gap of 3 to 4 months. So after this September batch, maybe I will do a course in January, inshallah, or even later, right? So keep in mind, if you miss this one, January or later, inshallah. Okay, so let's say my first class is on 27th of September. Is it possible that on 27th of September, wherever I am, right? Wherever I am, is it possible that there is a heavy rain on that day and due to the heavy rain, there is internet failure or unavailability or power failure? Because of that, I will not be able to conduct the class on 27th of September. Is it possible or impossible?
Possible.
Possible. So if it is a possibility, it's a risk. So now if I ask you, what are the chances of happening? Of course, it depends upon the country also. It depends upon the
Past history.
Past
Rain.
history or weather forecast also. So I will be in Malaysia 27 September, inshallah. So let's say in Malaysia, 27 September, usually it's a rainy season. So what do you think? If I give you 5 options, very high, high, medium, low, and very low. If I give you 5 options, out of these 5 options, what will be your choice? Very high chances of this happening, high or medium or low or very low? Anything.
From the analysis of past history, we will decide.
Very high. Very high.
So let's say we go with high chances that this can happen, right? Now, if it happens, what will be the impact? Impact will be we will have to cancel and postpone the class, add one more weekend, or shift somewhere in between in the weekdays. So maybe for some of you, it's a small impact. Some of you, it could be a big impact. Maybe you have some other travel plan or some other training. So again, if I give you 5 options, very high, high, medium, low, or very low, what will be your choice? Of course, for everyone, it could be different. I will go with majority only.
Very high.
High.
It would be
Sir,
high.
very high and high both are good options.
Okay, so let's go with very high, just to keep it different from high. So you said high chances it may happen, and if it happens, very high impact. So what we have done here, we have done taking a very simple example, a heavyweight name used in project management, qualitative risk analysis, just in few seconds, on the basis
Yes.
of some information, right? That also gives you another concept that qualitative analysis cannot be performed by people who have no idea or who are outsiders. Means who do not know the weather forecast of Malaysia, who do not know that what is the impact of one day missing the class. So that means regardless of how big a consultant is, that Mr. Abu Bakr is traveling today and he will come and he will tell us in our project this risk is high and this is medium. No, he cannot tell. Outsiders cannot tell. Outsiders can only help you. Taking your input combined, you can do together qualitative analysis. And quantitative analysis is in numbers. For example, we say we are working on a construction project that is of 12 months duration, 20 floor building. In these 12 months, in the area, from the past history, we know rains are a common thing. So 70% chances that we will lose 3 weeks just because of rain. And $50,000 material will be wasted because of rains. So 70% chances of losing $50,000. This is numbers, numerical. This is called as quantitative analysis. So very easily we understand what is meant by qualitative analysis, what is meant by quantitative analysis. Now, if I ask you or if I tell you that if you see around you in your offices, in your buildings, in your apartments, do you see some smoke detectors? Do you see some fire alarms? Do you see some water sprinklers? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Sir. Yes, sir.
So what are these? These are risk responses. So we identify the risk, we perform qualitative analysis, we perform quantitative analysis, we plan the risk responses and we implement that. This is called as risk management. Now procurement management. Procurement management means when the customer, company needs anything from any other company. Anything from any other company. Now what could be that anything? That could be resources. manpower, machine, material. Now the customer can take material from other companies. If I ask you, can we buy material from other companies? Yes or no?
No, sir. We'll make contract.
We cannot buy material from other companies.
We can buy.
We can buy. What's the problem in that? We can buy steel, we can buy cement, we can buy paint, we can buy fuel, right? So we can buy. Now, can we rent material?
Yes,
No,
sir.
it should be from the contract.
No. We cannot rent material. Reason is material is consumable. So we cannot rent something which is consumable. So materials can be purchased only. What about machines? Can we purchase machines?
No, sir.
That is not mandatory. Machine can rent.
Machine can rent.
Machine can be rented.
Can we purchase machines from other companies? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, but
Yes.
it has very high cost.
Very high cost. I'm asking possible or not?
Yes, possible.
Feasible is a different thing. Wise or not, I'm not asking that. I'm saying possible or not. Possible.
Possible.
Yeah,
Sir,
possible.
Can we
Both is
rent
possible.
machines from other companies?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So for
possible.
machines, we can buy also, we can rent also. Simple concept. Material we can buy only. What about manpower? Can we rent manpower?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Can we buy manpower?
No, sir.
No.
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 Yeah,
We cannot buy manpower.
we can hire.
Hiring even on a permanent position is a rental contract. Buying means, purchasing means slavery system, that now it's in your possession, right? But here, even if you are joining some company as a permanent position also, you are having your weekends also. After office hours, you will go back home. So that is not purchasing. So manpower can be rented only. Machines can be rented also, purchased also, depending upon short-term usage required or long-term usage required. Material can be purchased only. So all these four scenarios come under procurement. Up till here, any question or confusion?
No, sir.
Sir, what's about the HR, human resource?
Manpower is a human resource.
Yes. So normally the human resource is acquiring the resources, the manpower,
So
or the procurement department.
doesn't matter. Could be anyone. Sometimes it depends upon your company policies. In some projects, project manager is directly doing the hiring. In some projects, he is requesting the HR department to do the hiring. Right? So case to case, company to company, it could have different scenarios. Okay. That is not actually the concept required here. Okay. So now, why we need resources? Why customer? We are customer. Why we need resources? To perform tasks or activities. Resources are assigned on tasks or activities. We need resources to perform tasks or activities. Why we need to perform tasks or activities? To complete the scope or deliverables or work packages. So one option is that customer company can arrange resources to perform the activities or tasks to complete the scope or deliverables. Second option is outsource. Outsource the scope to some other company. Give that scope to some other company. And why the customer will give the scope to other company? What could be the reasons behind? Can anyone tell me what could be the reasons?
If they don't have the enough expertise
Right.
to
Lack of expertise.
Qualified people.
Same, expertise of qualified people. What else?
Time issues.
Lack of time. We have expertise, but we don't have time.
Time management.
Right? Same, time. or sometimes it is cost effective. Very easy example, daily life example. Let's say, I don't want to make you upset in the last few minutes. Let's say in order to prepare the exam of PMP, you have to read a book of 500 pages. You have to print that book. Now you have two options. You can print from your personal printer, or you can go to some bookshop and take that PDF on USB and get it printed from the bookshop. Which one will be more expensive in your opinion?
So a bookshop.
If I don't have the
It
printer,
depends
then
on
bookshop is easy.
availability.
If you have printer at home, still, then
Bookshop is expensive.
Bookshop is
It,
expensive.
it depends on time and the cost and
that means you have not printed from your personal printer. Your personal printer will be much more expensive. The reason is your printer is of 100, 200 reals, 300 reals, right? This lightweight printer, light duty printer, domestic usage. That bookshop, they are not having that 200 real printer. Their printer could be 50,000 reals printer. So the time will be totally different. Maybe if you print from your personal printer, 500 pages may take you 5 hours maybe. And it may cost you ink only of 200 reals. But if you go to bookshop, they may print in 20 minutes.
And maybe less price.
And they may charge you 80 reals with ring binding only, and including their profit also. So sometimes it is cost effective. Your cost of unit production is much higher than the other company's cost of unit production. So sometimes it is economical if you outsource. So these are few reasons why the companies outsource. Stakeholder management, as I already told you, that anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project, he is the stakeholder. We have to identify, we have to classify, we have to plan. Integration management, all the other knowledge areas, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder, these are related, these are interconnected. If we increase the scope, time and cost will change. Risk will change. Quality can change. So this is the concept of integration. Whenever we start a project, it is called as initiating. After initiating, we plan everything. We plan the scope, we plan the schedule, we plan the cost, we plan the quality, all the knowledge areas we plan. And when the plan is ready, we present that plan to the stakeholders, top level stakeholders, decision makers. When they approve it, it is called as baseline plan. When we complete the baseline, approve the baseline, we start execution. When we start execution, controlling processes, they start comparing these two things. That what was the baseline approved and what is currently happening. In other words, this is a comparison of plan versus actuals. If there is no difference between plan and actual, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
good thing, I think.
Good thing.
Good
That
thing.
means we are going as per plan, right? If there is a difference between plan and actual, that difference has a famous name. Can anyone guess that name? Difference between plan and actual.
Delay.
Variance.
Behind schedule,
Variance. Variance could be in terms of time also, variance could be in terms of cost also. If there is a variance, what should we do? What do you think?
We have
We'll
control that.
recover comparison analysis.
Recovery plan.
But if it's a small variance? Variance could be small also, variance could be big also, variance could be very big also. So we need to see, is this variance, can we ignore it? Is it negligible? Is it small? Is it like maafi mushkil? So if it is maafi mushkil, no issues, we can ignore. Allah kareem inshallah. Let it continue in the same way. But if this variance is big, now big for you could be different, big for me could be different. So that means big has to be agreed on in the project planning stage. That how much variance is big? Cost variance of $50,000 is big, or cost variance of $5,000 is big. So we need to decide these limits. And these limits have a very famous name. Can anyone guess that name?
Threshold limits.
Cost control or
Project life.
Threshold values. So if the variance is greater than the threshold values, we need to do recovery. If they are less than the threshold value, Allah kareem inshallah. So this cycle continues. We do replanning because of two reasons. One reason we just discussed, that if the variance is bigger than the threshold value, we need to do the replanning or recovery planning. What could be the other reason? Can you guess? The second reason of doing the replanning?
Scope change.
Scope change, scope addition. So these are two things which can happen during the execution, and we need to do the replanning. And when the deliverables are complete, we go to the closing processes. Agile management, I have already explained to you that we can do the projects in predictive style also and agile style also. Agile means continue as we proceed. So of course it needs a long discussion. I will explain it in the full course, inshallah. So I believe that's it from my side. This is going to be the full course schedule, and 8 days. And tomorrow I will upload the recording and the PDF. So if you need the recording and of this seminar today and the PDF, just send me. I prefer if you send a message tomorrow, because if you send it today, there are so many messages keep on coming. Your message will go down and I may miss it tomorrow. So it's better if you send me a message tomorrow afternoon. I will share the recording and the PDF. Just to remind you, the course is starting from 27 September. If you register alone, the discounted fee is 720 Riyal if you pay in Pakistani bank, because in Pakistani bank, that is my personal account. I do not have to pay VAT on that. I do not have to pay the kafil charges on that. But if you want to pay in Saudi Arabia, it will be 960 Riyals, because there is 15% VAT as well, and the kafil charges there also. If you register as a group of people, further discount 480 Riyals only. If you pay in Pakistani bank, and 720 Riyal if you pay in Saudi bank. That is already with you. That's it from my side. Anyone wants to leave, no problem. You can leave. Anyone wants to stay and ask questions, please go ahead.
What it meant by group? For example, we are here, I believe 35 participants. So will it be
Even
considered
if
as a
10,
group?
15 people they register, they will register separately. That is not a group. Group means you make your friends group in your circle and you pay together and register together. Minimum 3 or above. That is meant by group. Right? Is it clear?
Yeah, well clear.
Right. Anyone else, please?
Assalamu
Yes,
alaikum. Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear
Walaikum
me?
assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes, please.
Sir, this exam test centers are available in Jeddah or only in Riyadh in Saudi?
No, Jeddah, Khobar, Dammam, everywhere, Bahrain also. In every big city, there are centers available.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, one thing I want to ask that can we transfer money from this Pakistani bank to Pakistani
Yeah,
bank?
yeah. Local bank also. That is fine also.
Okay, no problem.
Sir, I want to ask that if we are going to register for this session, so the last date is 19th of the October. So can we expect that? Can we expect from ourselves, from yourself, that we will be able to give the exam on the 20th of the October?
No, not at all. As I told you, after the training, you may need preparation or self-study for 2 months maybe.
All right, all right.
So yes, if you start reading after 19th of October, it may need another 2 months. But if you start reading from here, so maybe it will save you 2 weeks in that overall plan, 2 to 3 weeks. But keep in mind, realistic 2 to 3 months study, self-study after the training is required.
And 35 contact hours will be sufficient. Will you provide us a certificates which will be eligibility criteria?
Yeah. This attendance certificate is 35 PDU certificate. So immediately when we finish the course, inshallah, on 20th of October, on your WhatsApp, you will receive your certificate that is from our side, inshallah.
Sir, regarding this transfer
Assalam.
from Pakistani bank to
Yeah.
Pakistani bank, okay, can you please mention the amount in Pakistani rupees, how much it should?
Just go on Google and write SR2 PKR, right? It is roughly 53,400, something like that.
So I want to ask about
Yeah.
which trainings and which trainers are approved for the PDUs by the PMI or
Can you explain your question again, please?
I'm saying, sir, for example, I am attending your training. It is approved by the, it is valid for the PMI for a
It
certified
is
PUD.
acceptable, it is valid. Maybe hundreds
Yes,
of my students have passed PMP, alhamdulillah, already, right? So
yes, sir.
that is no issue. Yeah.
Apart from these, I want to say which is the criteria for the trainers and the training that will be approved by the PMI. Can
No
you tell us?
criteria. No criteria.
Okay, anyone can provide the training or he must
Yeah,
be a
as I told
PMP
you in the
certified.
beginning also, good or bad training is a separate thing. Good
No,
trainer,
sir,
bad trainer, that is a separate thing. But for the sake
There
of
is
exam application, every trainer is acceptable.
okay. He may not be the PMP professional or something from
No.
PMI.
No.
Okay.
Like if you missed the earlier part, as I told you, someone asked this question that can we have training of other than PMP? I said yes. Maybe someone has taken training on Primavera. Maybe someone has taken training on Microsoft project. Maybe someone has taken training in their university program in masters. They are not PMP certified, not necessarily PMP certified. Still,
Yes,
it is
sir.
acceptable.
I missed the.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I missed the earlier part.
No
And
problem.
hopefully, I will get
Short answer is
regarding
yes.
tomorrow.
Short answer is yes.
Okay.
More than that, you don't need to worry anything. My guarantee, my responsibility, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Abubakar,
Yeah.
Mr. Abubakar, are you a member of a training organization or a group, or you are doing as a trainer or individual?
See, I am a freelancer trainer, right? And I give training on certificates on the name of a training institute. Plus, if you pay in Saudi Arabia, I receive the fee in a bank account which is of a registered training institute. And if you want VAT invoice, I can give you that also, which you can easily, confidently present in your company for reimbursement also. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
To negotiate with the company about this.
Yeah. But if you pay me in Pakistani bank, as we are not deducting VAT, so maybe your company will not be accepting that payment or not reimbursing that payment. But if you pay in Saudi Arabia, we will pay you VAT invoice. We'll give you VAT invoice also.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone having question, please?
Just
Yeah.
one thing. One
Yeah.
thing can I?
Yeah, sure.
In 2000, yes, sir. I was in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh 2015. That time I conduct a section from you in a hotel. So that time I planned for the PMP. Till now I not have any chance. So
Which
I get
hotel?
the
Near Garnata Center or White Palace Hotel?
white van near the Red Chili Hotel, the front of the Red Chili hotel restaurant.
In
This is
near Hayul
in
Wazarat.
Hara.
In Hara.
Yes,
That
in Hara.
yeah, I think that was a White Palace Hotel. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
fine. I remember your
Mm.
name, Mohammed Adil Chokat. So I was having a feeling that yes, maybe you are an old student. Ah, okay, so long time. So
Thank
now
you,
you
sir.
should do,
Yes, sir.
you should do now, inshallah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Welcome.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
If I miss some session due to some reason, what is the solution? You will share the video or
Yeah, I will upload the videos, but these videos will not be downloadable. You can watch it within 1 week, and after 1 week, I will remove that. So the purpose is only that you can do quick revision, or if you miss something or you slept during the class, you can at least watch it later. So for 1 week, I will upload, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
So, sir, missing any of this session and watching it later due to any genuine reason, will it not affect any on the videos, getting the videos?
I am not going to mark your attendance, right? So even if you do not watch anything, you do not attend any session, but you send me message for the certificate, I will issue your certificate. This is only certificate of attendance. It is not any stamp that yes, I have tested your knowledge and yes, you are a good project manager. No, this is only certificate of attendance, right? So here on Zoom, it is not possible to take attendance every day. So it's up to you. You pay the fees and you do not attend, no problem for me.
Okay, noted.
Sir, at the start of the lecture, you were discussing and showing the pictures, the face-to-face session. So
Yeah.
I want to ask that, is there any possibility you are just like you are going on 27th of the September, if I'm not wrong, to the Malaysia. So where you are going to connect the face-to-face sessions or?
No. That I'm just going for vacation only.
Okay,
So
okay. So I want to ask that, can I get the face-to-face session? Any possibility right now in nowadays?
no, not in nowadays, right?
You show the
Only
pictures at the start of the lecture.
yeah,
The
yeah.
pictures were there and you were taking the selfie, something like. So I thought you are also doing the online and face-to-face
See,
both at
before
a time.
COVID, I was doing it physical. After
Oh,
COVID,
okay,
I'm
okay, all
only
right,
doing
all
it
right.
online. But if you have a big group, minimum 20 or 30 people, I can do face-to-face physical also anywhere in the world where I'm allowed to travel. You can even become a business partner, anyone, right? So if you want to arrange session, for example, yesterday also I was giving a training to seminar to a society also. So societies also, they do partnerships or they do engagements with me also. So you can become a business partner, you can arrange my sessions anywhere in the world, online or offline also, and share good amount of revenue with me, inshallah.
So, sir, how we can meet you, or I can meet you in Saudi Arabia, where you are actually right now?
From Malaysia, I will be coming to Jeddah, inshallah.
Jeddah, all right, sir.
But I'm working in Riyadh, but mostly I'm working online.
So
Right? I just
Riyadh,
came
sir,
last 1 month.
all right. So I'm also in Riyadh, so I will contact you so we can have a meeting, a business. I want to discuss on business
Okay.
meeting with you
I
because
work
I'm
with
also
Alinma Bank Akaria.
Alinma Bank. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Great. That's great.
So for last few months I was working there on site. But then I said, sorry, I cannot come to office. I do not enjoy working on site. I will work only off site. So that is
It means
when
you are working as a freelance as well and Alinma Bank as well, right?
yeah.
Oh, mashallah, great.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes, any other question from anyone, please?
Mr. Wakar, sir,
Yeah.
after the training with you, and we have 2 or 3 months preparation before the exam. During that course of preparation, are you giving us some support or something when we try to reach you?
See, that support is available on friendly basis, not on a commitment basis. Friendly basis, yes. All my students, they remain in touch with me on the WhatsApp group of each session. So mostly people, they keep on sharing whenever someone gives exams, alhamdulillah, he passes the exam, he shares his experience with everyone. So mostly people help each other, or wherever required, I also jump in or I also answer the questions. So in that form, I keep guiding you.
I have a question,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not related
Please.
about the training. It's something like it. I need some PMP certificate, PMP certified project managers. So can you help me in regarding this also?
You can send me the description,
Okay.
right? Job description or 1-2 lines and the location also. And I will definitely, inshallah, circulate in my circle. Definitely some people will be interested or looking for jobs, inshallah.
Great. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
One more thing, Sir Abubakar.
Yeah.
So aside from PMP certification, what is the other professional training that you would like us to encourage?
I
Beside
suggest,
PMP.
again, PMP, I suggest for everyone, regardless you're a civil engineer, mechanical, electrical, IT, telecom, for everyone, I suggest PMP. After PMP, you should do Primavera or Microsoft project, at least one of these two. And that is not a certification, that is just a training only, hands-on experience only. So that is not going to take too much time from you. Certification wise, if you are from construction industry, CP is coming in your way. If you are from any other industry, risk management can be a good value addition for you. If you are a planner, SP, PMI SP is a good certification for you. So depending upon your industry, your career path, that you can have different options.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, yes, I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
As a HSC engineer, also there is a risk from the PMI. There is a risk certification.
RMP,
Is
yeah, risk
also
management professional.
yes. Also, this is for the HSC. You think it's for the HSC or this only for the
No, it can
project
be.
cost or
No,
something?
it can be very good for HSE also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and
Thank
I
you,
will
sir.
inshallah conduct in November, inshallah. RMP course in November, inshallah, I will conduct.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
On average, how much hours are required for study to complete this
See, I'm
PMP?
assuming 15 hours every week. With 15 hours every week, maybe around 2 to 3 months. According to your situation, some people have 1 day weekend, some people have 2 days weekend. So accordingly, you can increase or decrease the duration. Or some people may be looking for job or jobless these days. So maybe they can do in 1 month.
So it's about the time, how much you spend yourself to
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
Okay. Either you are doing job or you are free.
Yeah, exactly. And you are married or not. Or
No, I'm married.
your
I have
mother-in-law is
4
living with
kids.
your mother-in-law is living with you. That may take 8 months then.
All are deployed on me, but to be very frank, still I'm learning for the whole day,
Okay.
approx 6 hours.
Okay, nice. Yes, please. Anyone else having any question?
You said that experience certificate from the employers they will see. So they verify by calling them or how?
No. Only if it is on the letterhead, signed and stamped, this is enough. They will not cross-verify.
Abu Bakr, I have already shared with you the thing.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome, inshallah. If no other question, can I close the session?
Sure.
Thank you very
From my
much, sir.
side.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
Thank you,
much,
much.
sir.
inshallah. Welcome anytime. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much,
Walaikum assalam.
Mr.
Welcome.
Abubakar, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome.